Hello there, friends. How's it going? I had this set up from back when I started talking about other things, and I've been wanting to just not always paint and maybe give you guys some ideas of who this person is, the man behind the mask. So, as an artist, I took ceramics when I was in high school and college, and at one point I had this belief that I was going to go to college and get a degree, a master's of fine arts in ceramics. And what I learned was one, I don't like writing papers, and I don't like all of the reading and all of the stuff that you have to do to get a master's degree. And I was really kind of like disheartened in the idea that you'll go to college and you'll spend all this money and you'll come out the other end with a degree that really isn't worth the money you spent on it. I decided I was going to get a degree in information technology, so I have an associate's of technical science. I worked in IT. And I always had, you've seen my art. It's not like for everyone. I'm not Picasso. I'm not Rembrandt. I'm not Monet. I'm me. And so I had this belief this whole time that I wanted to be able to make art for myself, what I wanted to see, what I wanted to do. When I was in college, I had taken some ceramics classes at our community college, and this is where I decided I might consider going that direction. There's a person that used to work out in a town that's not too far from here, and they did ceramic pie plates. They made pie plates. Now, when they originally started doing it, they would throw the pie plates on a potter's wheel, and they throw them out, boom. They just one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. Then they would paint a design on it, and they'd fire them, and they were really cool pie plates. But then he realized that he could press mold all of those pie plates, so he threw a pie plate, and then pressed it out, and then he just press molds all these pie plates. And I went out to his place. I checked out his whole setup. It was kind of cool. You know, when you're in ceramics, you're wanting to learn all these things. And I learned about press molding, and it was kind of disheartening to me. Not that he's not doing what he wants to do, that's his thing. But I came to this belief that I didn't want to create art just to make money. I mean, I do want to make money, but I want to make money doing what I want to do, not because this thing sells. You know, it's like you see a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and they all do the different flavors of Bob Ross, the wet on wet paintings. And they're all great painters. They all have their thing. But I always had this belief that I have my own, what do I want to call it? My own artistic vision. And I didn't want to compromise what I wanted to do, what I wanted to create, just because it sells. You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to make pie plates now because that's what I do to make money. So through all of that time, this was almost 30 years ago, 25 years ago. And I got the idea, I was like, oh, well, I'll just get a job and I'll buy a house that has a garage and I'll make pottery in my garage the way I want to make it, so that I can be true to myself and what I want to see. And I have a job, so I don't have to worry about selling the art. Because if you're honest with yourself as an artist, you'll eventually find your audience. I haven't really found that audience yet, but I also took like 15 years off from being at all creative in any way. I got married, divorced, have a kid, all of those things, and they kind of get in the way of the creative process. And so for me, I just decided, I'm just going to go do that. And so now I have the house. I do have a garage, but I like to park my car in there. And I have this extra bedroom that I get to paint in. And I'm able to paint what I want to paint and whatever I get the feeling for. So when I sit down to paint, I don't sit down with this idea of some grand thing that I'm going to create. I sit down and I stare at a blank canvas and I listen to music, and just let whatever happens happen, right? And I remember seeing Rick Rubin talking about that people that create art for the audience aren't really creating good art, right? He talked about how movies today, like how there's a lot of really bad movies because there's not people that like creating movies anymore. They make movies because it sells. I mean, it's not to say anything bad about Marvel or DC, all the superhero movies. It's like a carbon copy of every other thing. It's like they're just doing it to make money. They don't do it because they love comic books and they love superheroes. They just want to make money. And so I didn't want to ever compromise my artistic vision to make money. So I may or may not. I mean, I will. I'll make money someday. It's just you got to put in the work to get to the other side, right? And so I am talking to you because I'm going to be going on vacation and I wanted to record a few extra videos so that I could kind of space it out so that I don't miss too much content for you, the viewer, while I'm gone. So this is that's kind of my grand idea of how and why, at least why I create art, why I do it the way I do it, and what I'm doing now. So if you like that, it'd be really awesome if you were to hit the subscribe button, the follow button, like the video, and eventually I'll have more stuff on my eBay channel, and you can get a page, and maybe go buy something or not. It's up to you. And so that's just me. I'm an artist. I'm a creative person, and I can't not be creative. Now that I'm in this space where I have a lot less distractions, I'm able to create. And so, again, it's one of those things I like to tell everybody, just go out and do it. Don't do it because somebody else tells you you should do it, or do it because you want to do it. Don't listen to me. I mean, listen to me, but don't listen to me. Right? Go create. If you feel creative, if you feel the idea, I want to paint, go paint. Who cares what it looks like? Do you like it? That's all that matters. That's why I do it. That's what I'm doing now. That's what I've been doing for the last few years. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.